So then that's all of the distortion / overdrive / fuzz range.
Yep.
And then you brought two more. We've got the tape deck, which is a modulated delay, and then we've also got the Exosphere, which is the reverb.
Yes.
But do you want to talk us through the tape deck first?
Yeah, so the tape deck was our kind of first delay. This is now the second version of it. Well, technically third, I guess.
We played the first one, didn't we?
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that was great.
So this is kind of moving on from that. It's by and large it's the same circuit. It's core. It's just got a few extra features and functionalities that we've added in. So you've got the with the engage switch. It activates the kind of the main delay section, which you've got tone, time, feedback, and mix. Obviously, just fairly standard delay controls. The tone one being possibly one that you don't get on every one, where you can adjust the sound of the repeats. So you can go from quite dull, dark sounding through to really kind of lo-fi and with all the bass stripped out. So it's quite sort of percussive. That's
a really useful feature actually. That's missing on a lot of delay pedals, because sometimes the delay can interrupt. If you're playing lead, it's quite nice to have a warmer sounding delay.
Yeah,
so it doesn't clutter up your solo.
Yeah, exactly. We've added the tails switch, which means when you turn the delay off, the tails can ring out. You'll notice that if you have the feedback turned all the way up, it will self-oscillate even with the pedal not turned on. So obviously that's just something to be aware of when people are, obviously you wouldn't be able to leave it all the way up all the time, which leads on to why we've got the expression pedal functionalities with the expression 1 allowing you to control the feedback, so the amount of repeats, and expression 2 is now updated to completely control the delay time. Standard delay time you get without it plugged in is around just shy of 3 seconds at maximum, but the delay time really kind of degrades and you'll get a lot of noise and kind of hits like you would get from like an old kind of, it's almost like the way that I wanted to design this was almost like a tape delay that's on its last legs, like nearly broken, nearly falling apart. And that's what you'll notice the longer the delay time gets. Once you get over sort of a second, you'll notice the repeats start to get quite lo-fi.
It's good that all these pedals are kind of grungy, a bit experimental, and sort of you can get some crazy sounds. And I personally prefer that sort of tape echo to the digital one where it might not fade, or you have to select how long it fades for and stuff. I like the deterioration. These 4 controls here, are they just for the delay side?
Yeah, so that's just for the delay, and then you've got the modulation side with the second foot switch.
Is that a chorus effect, the modulation?
Well, it can be set up. So there's 2 internal trim pots in the tape deck. One allows you to adjust the band of the sweep when you're using the expression pedal to control the delay time. The second one adjusts the relationship between the modulation and the delay. So stock, I normally send it set up so that if you turn the modulation on, the delay time stays near enough the same, but it just modulates the delay with the rate and the depth and the shape controls. The way I've got it set up today, because I haven't yet actually shown this in a video yet, so it'd be nice to get it on camera, is having the trim pot turned up so that it kills the delay time completely and it acts as a kind of a standalone tape wobble chorus flanger effect.
Okay, so when you can turn this on for the delay, but can you have this on separately just as a modulation?
No, that comes on when that has to be, because it kind of works alongside the delay circuit, because it basically kills the delay time to a very short time where it's not really noticeable, almost like less than a slapback.
Am I right thinking that's what a chorus is?
Yes.
A chorus is essentially a delay, a very short delay pedal.
Yeah, and then
it's taken in and out of.
Yeah, and then it modulates the delay time. So the pedal does have to be on. It's just letting you have a setup where you've got a delay pedal and effectively a chorus pedal inside it, but it will work. It works alongside the mix. It works alongside all the other delay controls, so you can dial the mix when you've got the modulation turned on for a chorus sound. The mix still works to blend in the clean signal. Turning up the feedback makes it more like a flanger, because you've got that where it's feeding back into itself, so the sound will become more dramatic. Tone still works, so you can adjust how bright or dark the wet signal is, the modulated signal over the top of your dry signal, and it makes for a very unusual sort of chorus vibrato sound that's not similar to really anything else.
It's really cool. And I think I've already said, but I love the look of it. That green and those graphics. It's properly tasty. The old one looked great. This does look better.
It's certainly more eye-catching.
Yeah, definitely. For the purposes of this demo, I'll be using my Japanese Fender 52 reissue Telecaster. I'm running into my Laney LC50 all-valve combo, which has a Celestion G12 100K speaker in it. And now, what about the Exosphere? Your, what is it, atmospheric reverberator? The Exosphere, the atmospheric reverberator.
Yeah, so this, again, our first sort of reverb circuit that we put together. This is the second sort of version of it. Initially, when we first brought it out, it was just a straight up single reverb. This is what it does, this is what it sounds like. Now brought it back with some extra functionalities, 2 different reverb sounds. In terms of sound, it kind of sits somewhere in between a spring and a hall, and then also there's elements of sort of a very short kind of lo-fi echo as well that when we play through it, you'll hear. You've got the pre and the post controls are basically input and output levels. If you drive the pre-control, you can begin to distort the reverberated signal, which can lead for some really kind of almost like you get sometimes on old spring reverb tanks where they'd be valve driven.
Yeah, but yeah.
Right. And the more you crank it up, especially when you turn the master volume up on the amp, it'll start overdriving the tubes that are powering the spring reverb, and you get a kind of distorted reverb sound, which can sound really nice. Verb 1 and 2 are the two mix controls. Verb 1 is what comes on as standard when you turn put the main bypass switch on. That's kind of set for a slightly more subtle, not as wet sounding reverb. And Verb 2, which comes on with the second foot switch, is set for a more ambient kind of sound.
So would you say that Verb 1 is more like your sort of subtle spring reverb that you'd have always on, perhaps,
yeah, exactly.
And then Verb 2 is like your big epic solo.
Yeah, like if you want to get really kind of
Gilmore.
Yeah, exactly. Or go
more experimental.
Yeah, or go really ambient with like with a clean sound or whatever.
That's what this You've got this kill dry switch. Is that? That's the one where if you switch that, you've got just the reverb signal.
Yeah,
no dry guitar.
Yeah, it completely kills your clean signal. So it's perfect for if you're doing kind of weird shoegaze kind of music, playing that kind of stuff, like post-rock stuff, or if you're putting it in the effects loop, so you've just got the wet signal going through. A lot of people like to use effects that are fully wet for that. Some pedals come with mix controls that go fully wet, and that's how they leave them when they're putting them in the effects loop. This just happens to make it a bit easier.
I think we did have a play with that. You can get so experimental with this pedal. It's just like all of them, super versatile. If you're the kind of person who wants like either a fuzz or a delay or a reverb, but you don't want to commit to like a specific one that does a specific function, these are such a great option because you can. They're so versatile. You can create your own sound with any one of these pedals. I'm really impressed by them. I'm really looking forward to having a proper play through them.
Cool.
So, where can people find out more about you and your products?
Through basically all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or at zandercircuitry.co.uk.
All links below. Alex, thanks so much for coming down.
No problem.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Pedals are fantastic. Wish you all the best luck in the future.
Thanks very much. This will control the 2. And then I'll just do the second one.
Very excited.
Happy?
Yeah, happy. That's the guitar stuff done.
Yeah.